Good morning, Alex.
Morning. How are
Hey
you,
there,
Dr.
how
Rainey?
are you?
Doing well.
Excellent. Good. All right. So I was kind of expecting Alan to be on here, but then I just realized he's coming in at 8:30. So he'll be in here in a
Ah,
little
okay.
bit. So you probably wouldn't be able to jump on the call anyway because he'll be driving. But let's
Gotcha.
see. So how's your day going?
Good so far. I started off the day right. I'm at 2:05 this morning, I think, if I remember correctly. So
That's awesome.
uh, that's
Wow.
probably the first time as far back as I can remember. And so that means hopefully by the end of the week, I'll be under 200 pounds.
That's
Pretty
amazing.
crazy.
You're
It's
you're
pretty
gonna really
crazy.
break through the.
So, I mean, even getting dressed this morning was crazy. Like, I can't find a shirt that doesn't look like it's sheet. So that's I don't want to go out and buy a bunch of new clothes because it's almost kind of my mind hasn't caught up with my body, if you will.
Yeah,
So
I know. I think it's gonna be really exciting. You'll find out you get in the maintenance phase, and you'll find that you're getting a lot of muscle tone, and you'll just see that that muscle will continue to develop. So who knows? Maybe
yeah.
you'll be busting out of those shirts with all your muscles.
Well, what's interesting is that I have a feel fits scale, and so more than just the weight coming off, right? Looking at the visceral age change and looking at the body fat percent change and all of these other I don't know if the right term is physiological things that are changing are pretty interesting, right? So I think my age when I started, my metabolic age, if that's the right way to say it,
Yeah,
was something like 69, and I'm down to like 49 now.
it's
So
amazing. You
that's
can
that's
drop.
pretty interesting. So
Yeah, to drop
yeah.
20 years
So
metabolically in a few weeks. That's amazing.
right, and when you think about the time frame, right? So um, and so I think that's driving more and more every day, kind of the affirmation of just doing the right things.
Mhm.
And quite honestly, I mean, I'm starting to get to the point where I'm trying to play with the scale a little bit, like the food scale. So I'll
Uh-huh.
chop something up and I try to predict how much what the portion is, right? So I'm kind of game. So it's like gamification of food prep, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and less because it's just fun, and more because I'm trying to train my eyes a little bit what the appropriate portion is.
Mhm.
And so sometimes I'm usually within an ounce and a half now, so I'm figuring if I can get to a point where I can do 10 in a row and I'm within a half an ounce, that'll be pretty good for kind of sustainability.
That's
And then what's interesting, and I was hoping there'd be more people on, is I wonder, I'm starting to get more nervous. Like phase one, I feel like, I could knock the cover off that ball a little bit.
Mhm.
So I hope that's not overconfidence. But I think that the next thing that I'm most nervous about is the maintenance phase. Like I'm afraid of um, how's it going to work when you start introducing things, right? Like, I'm dying for some sushi.
Mhm. Uh-huh.
So the first time I go eat sushi, I don't, when is that? How do I get there? What am I going to do? Is it going to be, do I have to decrease my portion from the 4 ounces to make up for all these starches? And so like, that's the part that I'm starting to, um, not focus on, but start to think about a little bit through that transition.
Mhm.
Um, I feel like phase one's been pretty, uh,
Kind of black and
after the
white.
yeah, it's been pretty easy. Like, here's what you do, and here's, you got to do this every day. And I've only had two, knock on wood, right? Two frustrating, I think, days. I had one day that I gained 2 pounds,
Mhm.
um, and I immediately lost another 2 pounds, right? The following day. So I think we were talking about the swoosh effect, the whoosh effect.
Yes, the whoosh
Uh,
effect. Yeah.
there it is. And um, so I think what's most helpful is when you have those moments of what I'll call a failure, right? And probably you as a doctor expect.
Mhm.
I think the biggest challenge that or that what's helped me overcome those challenges is when you say, hey, there's this thing called the whoosh effect, right?
Mhm.
So, so I think right now, top of mind for me is, I'd love to hear from the people who are in the maintenance phase, like how they dealt with that, right? Or were they experiencing the same thing? Because it's just, it's nerve wracking to me to have all of this happen. All of a sudden you become a walking billboard because people are saying, "Oh my gosh, what are you doing? What's going on?" etc.
Yeah.
And then it's almost like a failure if 2 months from now I try, start to balloon again, right? So
Mhm.
that's kind of what I'm
Well,
most nervous about. So.
yeah. What I do is I'll reach out to a few people and see if I can get a couple of them on the call tomorrow morning.
Mhm.
I will kind of give you just a little timeline as you move forward. Um, when you move in from phase 1 to phase 2, where you're doing the maintenance phase, excuse me 1 second here.
No problem.
Hello. Oh, hey there. Sorry about that.
No problem.
So when you move into the next phase where we add in the calories back to your basal metabolic rate, meaning, all right, how we calculate how many calories you need a day based on your age, your weight, and your height. And then we still stick to those clean foods. And the body's going to go, oh, this is how many calories I need. So we lock in your new set point. We do that for about
Okay.
3 to 5 weeks. And then at that point, that's when we start reintroducing foods one at a time. Some foods can take 2 or 3 days even to show an inflammatory response. So we like to see how you do, but typically once you've locked in your set point, so we know where the body wants to be at this weight, and then 2, we know about how many calories you need a day, then you can add in these other foods and maybe they have more carbohydrates and less protein or vice versa. But once you've been through this for about 2 weeks, your body starts to get efficient again at metabolizing carbohydrates. So, as long as you're not getting a ton at one sitting, then you should be fine. But if you overeat too many carbs, obviously the body's going to go, whoa, we've only got so many calories here that we can burn up in the next 2 hours. And whatever we don't, we're going to store it as fat. So it just becomes, things in moderation at that point.
Right. Okay.
And it's not necessarily, oh, I have to do an Atkins or I have to do a paleo or I have to do a keto. The body
Right.
gets more efficient at utilizing, its fuel sources.
Got it. And that makes sense. So after so there is an option, I believe it's been a while since I've read through the material, but there's an option after that 3-week period to kind of go through another cycle and maybe do that last 10, 15 pounds that somebody wants to do, or how does that?
Yes, yeah. So at that point, you can either go back and do another round. If you aggressively want to lose 10 or 15 pounds, you can do that. Or let's say your basal metabolic rate is 1,800 calories. Well, now we're just
Yep.
going to go at like 1,600 calories or 1,500 calories, just below that. So it's enough to continue to lose weight. And if you're eating clean, you're going to see that body continue to convert fat into muscle. But if you start to
Okay.
go below that without the drops, the body's going to go, whoa, famine. It'll start storing fat again and slow your metabolism down. So we've got this finite area where we want to stay within. And as long as you're
Gotcha.
doing that, you continue to see the results.
Awesome.
Good morning, Yvette.
Morning.
Hey, I'm glad you jumped on here. You had Alex is on here with us, and he is. What day are you on now? 28-ish, something like that.
27, 28-ish. Yeah.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
he's done really well. And when I got a message from Yvette last night, and she's been doing a lot of the free veggies, and still kind of feeling hungry. So I just wanted to ask, are you doing the free vegetables with the meals? Or are you doing it in between, like snacking?
Sometimes both.
Okay. All right. So let's try. What I want you to do is try to eat the veggies at meals. Now, I know it's not, nothing's perfect, but try not to snack in between. What will happen is it will kind of, it'll make you more hungry, believe it or not. If you can try to just
What?
add, good.
Hey, Dr. Ian, what day is she on?
You are on what, day 4 now?
5 or 6?
6? Okay.
Yeah. So Yvette, I know, I didn't mean to interrupt Dr. Rainey, but I will tell you, if you can make it through a little bit of, maybe this is not the right medical advice, but for me, what I tried to do is try to fill myself up with water when I was going through what I'll call hunger pains, right? And and so the other thing is I was making like these ginormous salads. And so what would happen is when so I would eat that before my meal, and then I would feel full pretty much for 2 to 3 hours. And then I found like it's a lot of work sometimes, but it's worth it. If you measure the amount of time from when you get hungry till the time that you're going to eat next, sometimes it's only an hour, but it feels like it's a long time. I don't know if that makes sense to you or not. I don't know if you're going through that as well, because I've been trying to just understand my journey because my sister's doing the program as well. And so if you can really knock out that water, I hate drinking water, to be honest with you, and it's become my new best friend to get me through kind of that hour. And then what I found myself doing was just doing things that were really easy for me, that were fun, right? So for some of us, it might be doing laundry. For other of us, it might be, taking on some other activity that kind of ties up my mind for that hour. And all of a sudden I would find myself almost going over the time that I wanted to eat, because I was trying to time my eating between 5.5 to 6 hours almost exactly. And that's what really has allowed me to lose about 1.5 pounds a day pretty consistently. So I don't know if that's helpful. I don't, I'm still kind of in the learning phase myself, but that's kind of, what I've been trying to, my sister, I think, is on like day 5 or 6, and her problem's the opposite, where she didn't eat enough, but that hunger goes away like after day 7 or day 8. So I know 3 days seems like an eternity, but just hang in there just a little bit longer. Or call me if you get a hunger pain. I'll help you.
I will.
That's good. That's good advice. That's great advice, Alex.
Right.
I don't want to keep you, Alex, if you have to go, but there was another thing that you said the 4 ounces of protein seemed like a lot for you. Do you feel really full, or do you have trouble digesting protein?
Probably both, actually.
Yeah. Okay. So, so like, if I'm just trying to think here, you actually are, you're pretty petite. You might be able to get away with 3 ounces. We can, if you want to try that, we can do like 3 ounces or 3.5 ounces and see if that helps a little bit. As far as, you get the protein in, but we're going to have to kind of play with it here, because I want to make sure you get enough protein, because protein will make you feel full and satisfied. But obviously, if it feels like it's too much for you, we want to think about maybe some digestive enzymes, and that'll help you break down that protein. So let's see how you do over the next 2 days. If you're still feeling really hungry in between meals, and you're doing the free veggies like at mealtime, and then you just start feeling really hungry, you're drinking water, then I'm going to have you come into the office and we'll check you out. I just want to make sure that you don't need any enzymes, because that would help break things down so you can get the 4 ounces in, and that way you feel full and satisfied, and you're not feeling hungry between meals. So
Okay.
we'll get it squared away. So just keep me posted the next 2 days how you're doing, and we'll go from there.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Yvette, great to meet you. I hope you have a great day.
You too. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
Right.
Dr. Rainey.
Bye, everybody. Have a great day.
Bye. You too.